I had a fantastic question the other day about digestive enzymes, so I thought I'd do a video explaining what they are, where they come from, and what might be some situations in which somebody might need to supplement with digestive enzymes for a period of time. So we make digestive enzymes and secrete them from our pancreas. So anytime that our pancreas gets the signal that there's food coming into our duodenum, so the start of our small intestine, it's going to get the signal to release out digestive enzymes, and these are going to be proteases, lipases, and amylase, and they're going to help us to break down protein, fat, and carbohydrates. We can also make some digestive enzymes that line the cells of our small intestine, and these are called brush border enzymes. So there's kind of two types. So there's the ones that are made and sit on the lining of the cells of our digestive tract, and then there's the ones that we secrete out from our pancreas directly. And these are really important, of course, because as the food comes through into our small intestine, they're going to start snipping that food up, whether it's protein, carbs, or fat. And it helps to make it smaller molecules that are able to be absorbed through the cells of our small intestine. So it's really important, because if we don't have these enzymes, then we're not able to snip up the food that's coming through enough. And these larger particles will then end up getting further down into our gastrointestinal system. And if these foods aren't small enough and not able to be absorbed, they're going to essentially create more of a capacity for them to be fermented by the bacteria within our gut. And of course, we want bacteria to be able to ferment the food that's coming through our gut, but we want this to mainly happen within our large intestine. And this is going to happen to basically the fibrous foods that we're eating. But if fermentation is occurring to the protein, the fats, and the carbohydrates that are in our small intestine, for example, and they're just sitting in there fermenting, this is going to cause a lot of gas, distension, and pain, essentially. So there's some situations in which somebody might want to supplement with digestive enzymes. Let's say that you've had a gastro bug, or you've had some kind of nasty bug that's come into your gut. This can often result in a temporary reduction in mainly the brush border enzymes. So remember the ones that I said that sit along the lining of our gastrointestinal system. And this is where people might experience, for example, a short-term lactose intolerance or a gluten intolerance. Now, I will say most people don't have a full tolerance to gluten anyway, but certainly you can find that symptoms will actually worsen after you've had some kind of gastro or you've had some kind of gut bug. And of course, lactose intolerance is something that happens very, very often after you've been sick. And it's just because there's inflammation in the area, and that has caused destruction of the cells to some point lining the gastrointestinal system. And of course, when we lose those cells, or we are damaging those cells, then of course the little enzymes that are sitting on the lining of them are not able to be produced properly, or are reduced in number. So this might be a situation in which, like, for example, if you have had a gastro, or you've had some kind of gut bug, temporarily after that, if you're finding that you're not able to tolerate foods like you usually do, you might want to take digestive enzymes for a short period of time until those symptoms subside. Other situations might be, for example, in people that have actually, let's say they've tested their gut, they're finding they're getting a lot of symptoms of, say, SIBO, bloating, gas, distension, and they do a gut test, let's say like something like a GI map, and they look at the gastrointestinal capacity. There's some markers you can get in there for your pancreatic capacity, and it might show on the GI map that your pancreatic function is lower. And this might mean, and this can be caused by a lot of different reasons I won't go into right now, but it just may mean that your pancreas is not producing enough of those enzymes. And this, of course, as I said, is going to result in gastrointestinal symptoms like bloating and gas. And so you might want to, for a short period of time, take some digestive enzymes to help your pancreas get back to where it should be. But again, this is something that you wouldn't really want to have to do long term. If there's something that's causing your pancreas to not work properly, you want to figure out what that is. Is it inflammation? Is there a little stone that's stopping the pancreas being able to push those enzymes out? Things like that are worthwhile looking into. Other things as well can be, if you're not making enough stomach acid, you're relying more heavily on the digestive enzymes, because we know that, the stomach acid is going to start the process of digestion. It's going to start snipping up things like protein mainly. And then once the food gets then into the small intestine, that's when the digestive enzymes are going to help out. So if you know that you have low stomach acid production, like you've been taking PPIs, or you are quite stressed, that your cortisol levels are high. These are all things that are going to impact on our ability to produce stomach acid and start off that digestive process. So you might want to actually up your digestive enzyme capacity by taking supplements for a short period of time until you're able to sort out why your stomach acid might be low, for example. And on that note, it's also important to think about the fact that your nervous system is really going to impact heavily on your capacity to digest food and your capacity to make stomach acid, but also your capacity to make these enzymes and actually release them out. And that's because we're relying heavily on the vagus nerve. And we know that the vagus nerve is going to be stimulated ideally when we are eating and when our parasympathetic nervous system is switched on. So we're in a rest and digestive state. And so when we are able to be in this parasympathetic state, we are resting and digesting, we're eating, we are able to properly stimulate the organs like the pancreas to release out these digestive enzymes. But if we are in a stress state and our sympathetic nervous system, our stressed nervous system is switched on, this is where it can impede in our ability to actually digest food properly. So it's really important to make sure that when you are eating, you're in a really calm and relaxed and present state. So if you have any more questions about digestive enzymes, please let me know. There's certain digestive enzymes that I find supplement-wise that are better than others. You've got to look at the ingredient label and make sure that you're not getting lots of things that you often find in digestive enzymes like seed oils and wheat powder, rice powder, things like that. Definitely look at the label, because I have seen this frequently in digestive enzymes. What you want to look for in a good digestive enzyme is one that contains a lot of pancrease, amylase, and lipases. Potentially as well, you could look for one that might even contain some, porcine bile or some kind of, like ox bile or something like that. That can also additionally help with the digestion of fats as well, and help with what the gallbladder is trying to do, which is the emulsification of fats, and overall just help with digestion. Some digestive enzymes will also contain HCl or hydrochloric acid. And again, this will help to increase the acid production, or not increase the acid production, but essentially help with the digestion in the stomach by aiding the hydrochloric acid that you have in your stomach. So it helps to break things down even further. So ideally, a digestive enzyme supplement might contain the pancrease, amylase, and lipases. It will also contain something like bile acids, and hydrochloric acid as well. Can give you all the best bang for the buck.